What's going on, guys? Welcome to the fish room. I hope you guys are having a good Sunday. Post is kind of late, so it's probably Monday by now. But now we're going to do a tank number 10 of the fish room update. So behind me here in the bottom, we have in a 29-gallon aquarium. I have a lot of bristlenose plecos I've been breeding and growing out. So the video is going to be on those guys there. I'm also going to talk a little bit about some updates going on in the room. What's breeding, what's being born, what's hatching out, and what am I selling. There's a couple things going out in the next week or two that I was a little hesitant to do, but I want to share it with you guys and let you know the reasons that I did it. But let's go ahead and let's look closer at tank number 10. And it's late, I'm pulling my flashlight out for this one. But let's go ahead, let's check out the plecos, and let's also give it a little feeding in. So tank number 10 is this 29-gallon aquarium. I have it on this wrought iron stand. I have my discus above. I think I spooked them, they're kind of hiding. But down here we have some common and albino bristlenose plecos. They're breeding very prolifically. I actually just removed my flower pot. That is kind of my breeding cave. And I removed the male. So he now is over there in our sail tank. You can see there's a big one up front in the middle. But he was a large male albino. And the female is a common. So she's in here. I've been waiting to find her to catch her out. But let's go ahead, let's look closer at what is in this tank. Filtration, hiding, and fish. So you can see, hopefully you can see, there are a lot of plecos at different sizes. So anywhere from 1.5 inch plecos up to your maybe your week or 2 week old fry. So back there, if it'll focus, there's a bigger common and albino, and there's a little baby. That one's easier to see. So there's a little baby albino there. You can see there have some younger ones that have just been born not too long ago. So they're growing very well. There's some babies in the back there. Obviously the big boys up front. Boys and girls. Look at that shot right there. That might be the thumbnail. Who knows? Let me see if I can get a good least amount of glare. There we have it. So that's probably what you guys clicked on. That's probably what I'll end up posting on this for. But you can tell there's plecos on every single wall. So I have an extra air stone in here just to help break up the top of the water, get some more surface agitation. We have some little snails, lots of babies. It's powered off of this sponge filter. Yes, these 100 to 300 plecos in this tank are all filtered off of that one sponge filter. Also in here I have the acrylic yarn. It's a very dense mat, so that's going to grow a lot of beneficial bacteria. And it's almost like if you were to have a pond or a lake or something natural, or like gravel in your aquarium, all this is going to grow bacteria. The waste will settle down in there, and then all the bacteria grows and it breaks down that waste into nitrates, so you're not getting a buildup of ammonia and fish waste. There's still fish waste in there, and you got to do your I do my weekly water changes. But just looking around the tank, I'm going to just show you some of the fish. There's a nice albino in the back. It might even be a blue eye. It's kind of hard to tell. I have some fake leaves in here they like to hang out on. The front of the glass are all over the place. They'll even jump in this spare sponge filter and they'll swim down in there. I believe they've bred in that before, but they're all over the tank. Let's go ahead, and I have some algae wafers up here already kind of prepped for the video. Let's go ahead and feed those and watch these guys kind of all swarm for that food. Hopefully we don't spook them. But for tank number 8, some updates. I'm not breeding anymore in this tank. I'm just going to grow these guys out. I probably will end up removing that acrylic yarn, and then I'm going to just have a tank full of plecos ready for sale, continue to grow them out and keep selling them. But I'm going to focus more on my super reds and my long fins, and I have a lot of commons and albinos kind of backstocked for sale for stores and online. If you go online, my website biancosfish.com, I have those plecos for $5 right now, so it's a pretty good deal I think for those guys. And hopefully when I get maybe a 6-pack of them, get some more. But you'll be able to get males and females of your own, and also a really nice cleanup crew. But enough kind of talking about that. Let's go ahead, toss that food in there. Let that sink to the bottom. And these guys, I might give them a minute and I'll talk for them to find the food, but I'm sure they're gonna come out right away. I mean, they're already out. But you'll be able to see these guys swarm that food almost instantly, because there's a lot of fish in that tank, so they're always trying to get more food. So when there's a lot of competition, you actually get more aggressive eating, which is good for growth. So the more fish you have, the more they kind of get that feeding frenzy. They don't feel scared to come out and feed, because there's a bunch of other fish already doing it. And you can see albinos munching away already. That's pretty cool. So hopefully you guys get a good shot of this. It's pretty clear on my phone, but sometimes I upload it. It's not as nice as in person, obviously. Looking to maybe update the camera, but so far so good. It's doing its purpose, and I hope you guys can kind of see this. Let me back up. I'll talk to you for a minute about some updates, but it doesn't get much better than that. I mean, they instantly swarm that food, and especially when the lights come off tonight. Plecos are very well known for nocturnal feeding. They'll come out at night and they feed. They feel a lot safer and they're more active. So all these guys will eventually make their way over here. I put 4 big algae wafers in there, and that's their primary food source. A lot of people ask me, what else do I feed my plecos? And to be completely honest, that's pretty much it. I feed them pleco wafers. I put driftwood in most of their tanks. Some tanks don't have the driftwood because guess what? That food, if you look at the ingredients, there's driftwood in it. So people say they need driftwood. Yes, they do, but it's in their food. That's the whole point of having a food with a good steady diet. I'm not just dumping a can of peas in there where all they're getting are green beans or peas. They're getting that food that has a variety of different ingredients that'll be a steady diet for these guys. And I've been doing it for quite some time. They're growing really well, they're breeding. So I mean, let results speak for themselves. Even if people disagree, you can't even see that food because how many plecos are covering it. So I think they're doing pretty well. I enjoy them, and it's nice and simple. Simplicity is so important for me. If I can do it, I know people at home can do it, and then that way I can sell my fish. I know they're going to good homes, and they're going to stay healthy for them. And just do a good job. But that is really cool. Look how those plecos kind of swarming that food. While I have you guys though, the plecos are doing really well. That's tank number 10. I also have some other things going on. So right in front of me here, I'll turn it around. Sorry they kind of want to hide for us, but there are my 2 discus. They are a possible pair. I don't know why they're hiding. They don't normally hide for me. They're actually pretty good. I think I moved one of the lids above and it kind of bumped the tank and it's getting late. So they're not as active at night, obviously like most fish, but they're in here. Unfortunately, but also good, these fish are going out for sale. So I'm selling them to a fellow discus owner. My friend that I used to work at a pet store with, his dad is a 125 discus tank. Also, he has some rams in there. I sold him a while ago. These guys are hiding, so it's not real fun to look at. But basically, he's buying those 2 off of me. He's getting them next weekend after his big water changes. Here's my angels, but I'll kind of move around, talk at the same time. But he is a customer of mine, good friend. He has a bunch of discus and he said he would get them off me. So they're going to a good home, but I've been talking a lot about not wasting tank space and kind of maximizing all your aquarium. So I showed you tank number 10 today, but there's a lot more in here, and every tank should have a purpose. So I really try to stay on task and breed things and sell them. So I do a pretty good job about it, in my opinion. But those discus, I really enjoy them. But truth be told, if I was breeding a pair of guppies in there, by the end of the month or by the end of the year, they would profit way more money for the fish room. Just knocked something over. Let me clean that up. Sorry about that. It kind of stinks. I had a cup of water I knocked over on the floor because I'm moving around. But most of my videos, I kind of just show you how it is, and I'm not going to go over and re-edit that. But basically, discus are going to a new home. Kind of stinks. It's bittersweet because I did raise those guys. But they're going to someone I know, so I'll be able to check in on them and still see them grow, and maybe they'll breed in his tank for them. But another thing in the fish room I got going on, a little sneak peek. I have some German blue ram eggs. Some are fungus up. You can see, if it'll focus, there's some hatching out. I'm going to do a video on these guys of kind of from eggs to fry. So that'd be a cool video coming up in the future if I can get a shot of them. But those are doing well. Over here I have those plecos that I pulled from the cave the other day. You can see how much they've changed. You can kind of see what color they're going to be now. So their egg sacs are getting absorbed, and they're feeding off all that nutrition, and now they're starting to look like some real fish. So there's a whole bunch in here, and that's why you can see in that tank we just did why I removed the male, because I have a lot of plecos breeding and growing out. So I have plenty right now for growing and selling, and then I can focus on some different projects. But those guys are doing good. And I have one more thing to show straight ahead in that bottom tank. In here are those purple delta guppies I've been breeding. So in here you can see the males and females are kind of schooling up top, but there's a whole bunch of guppy fry and subadults. So for tanks like this, I've just recently started doing this. I'll go ahead, let them breed in a tank, have their fry and their babies. You can see some of there hiding in the yarn. They kind of jump in and out. But there's enough babies in here now where I'm confident that I kind of have the next generation. I have enough to grow up and sell, that I'm going to go ahead, catch all the large females and the males out, and they're going to go into a new aquarium where they can continue to breed and have their babies. And then I can go ahead and raise up the rest of these. So I think I'm going to do that tonight before I turn off the lights. That might be a future video. I'll show you guys that process of kind of continuing your breeding projects and going tank by tank. How you need to move things around, organize the fish room. But that's what I'm going to leave you guys with today. The purple deltas in here are doing really well. They need updated. I got the plecos breeding in here, producing some long fins for me, which is really cool. And there's even a little baby albino long fin. That's pretty cool. So they're throwing a little bit of everything. The parents are common long fins, but they carry a lot of genetics. So they're throwing a wide range of babies, which is really nice. I can breed the long fins in different types of plecos. So I will produce the more long fins, but also those commons and albinos. So I don't even need to breed my albinos and commons anymore. I can sell those, and then I can still produce them, and I can sell those. And if someone else wants to breed them, they have a wide range of genetics where they can continue to get cooler fish, in my opinion. So you have more possibilities, which is always nice. But for this tank, I mainly want to focus on the guppies. The purple delta's doing great. They're on the website. I have some real big females dropping fry. They're going to continue to have babies, and they're going to go in another tank to do so. And that way I can kind of spread out this line, give the babies more room to grow, and I can feed them more specifically. But let's wrap this video up. As always, thank you for watching. Go below, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I really appreciate it. The more you guys follow my page and you like my videos, ask for more content, the more I'll do it. So if you like stuff like this, just jumping into the fish room, showing you kind of day by day what's going on, what's new. I like doing it. I'm in here doing it regardless. If I can share it with you guys, give you some tips and kind of show you some fish along the way, that's just a bonus for me. So Thanks for watching, guys. As always, have a good day, and I will see you guys soon.